You are now listening to Talk Your Jits podcast.
Welcome back to the Talk Your Jits podcast. This podcast is, as the name implies, all about jiu-jitsu. I'm your host, Lamar Smith, and today's guest is a Purple Belt who trains at GF Team Canada, located in British Columbia, Canada. Ladies and gentlemen, Elim Ou.
Hey, yo, what's up?
What's up? How's it going?
Good. Just came back from our spring break camp, week 2, day 1. That was tiring. I've been doing the spring break camp at my gym, so that's real fun.
Gotcha. Well, sounds fun. But first and foremost, I'd like to thank you for taking some time out and doing the episode with me today. Greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. No, I'm happy to join. I don't think I've ever done a jiu-jitsu podcast officially before.
Really?
Yeah, this is my first time.
Gotcha. Cause before we start, I think I found you on Instagram first from the jiu-jitsu videos you post.
Yeah.
And one of your guys you train with, he did an episode and he's like, "Oh, you should hit up blah blah blah." And
yeah, that's right, with Daniel Louis. Yeah, he's a really good friend of mine. He's so fun.
Awesome guy. And I saw your name. I was like, "Oh shit, I follow her."
Oh, really? You did?
Oh yeah.
That's always so cool when people I know from that I've never met before, they're like, "Oh, hey, I follow you. I really like your stuff." Like, people in the last few months have started coming up to me in tournaments just to say hello, and I kind of like that. I didn't really do much. I'm basically a shit poster. I'm like the bimbo jester of jiu-jitsu here. I don't do much. I'm just hanging around. People like to have a laugh, so that's my thing.
Gotcha. I mean, but it's awesome though. You make very, very great content. So
Thank
I
you.
highly recommend you guys follow her. But let's get it started. If you want to formally introduce yourself again, by all means, and let's hear about your jiu-jitsu journey.
So my name's Elim. On Instagram, Elim_what's her name, because I don't know, a lot of people struggle with my name for some reason. That's why I'm what's her name. And people literally call me what's her name sometimes if they actually don't know me. And that's the story of how I became just Elim, what's her name, on Instagram. I started jiu-jitsu probably a few years ago. I first put on the gi probably in 2013, but I never actually got into it until 2017, 18-ish, just because I was a teenager at the time, and I don't think I was ever meant for martial arts, dude. I was doing classical music at this music academy. And next door, they had a Taekwondo school. And that's how I ended up getting into martial arts. And after Taekwondo, I transitioned into jiu-jitsu. I feel basically, you know how a lot of people that are like, "Oh, I was totally meant for this. I was totally meant for jiu-jitsu. I found my home." I don't feel that at all. Never had that feeling.
She said, "Nope."
You ever seen that movie, Everything Everywhere All at Once?
I haven't seen it yet, but I know about it.
Okay, but the concept of the multiverse, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bro, I'm in the wrong timeline. I'm in the weirdest timeline right now. I was never meant to do this, but I just walked into the school one day and I was like, I guess I'll chill here because I need exercise. I was a fat kid, chubby, not fat, but I was chubby, and I needed exercise. So Taekwondo was a recreational activity for me. And then they had jiu-jitsu on the side, and they're like, "Hey, come try jiu-jitsu, probably a little bit more practical." And I put on the gi, and I didn't really get into it. There weren't that many women at the time when I first started in 2013 around in Vancouver. But it's really bloomed, this female community, in the last few years. So after that, around 2017, I was an adult woman. I was like, "Oh, hey, there's more of us here. I think I want to do this." So I just started training a lot more around 5 years ago. And I just ended up here. I ended up being the shit poster of Instagram jiu-jitsu.
Never would have thought, right?
Yeah, never would have thought.
So what got you hooked?
What got me hooked? So in Taekwondo, I felt like it was really good cardio. But I felt like in jiu-jitsu, I don't know. I think because I entered in my first tournament, that's what really got me hooked. Because like there were two people going 100% on each other within like the similar weight range and similar skill level. I felt like there was a more fun gaming aspect to it. I think that's what
Mm-hmm.
got me addicted, the gaming aspect of jujitsu.
Mm-hmm.
And also I found that it was just really good for mental health. Everybody talks about how good it is for mental health. For me, like for real, it saved me. Like this was
Yeah.
my daily physical activity. Without jujitsu, I would not be exercising. I would be a couch potato. Like I said before, I was not meant for this life at all. So if because of jujitsu, this is probably the reason why I don't have diabetes. My cholesterol is up here. I am this close to dying of a heart stroke any moment, but thanks to jujitsu,
I know, right? We're still here.
still alive, still kicking it.
Still on this side. But for sure, like I find it funny is when it comes to people who, talk about jujitsu, and it's always like they never find jujitsu, just like jujitsu kind of find them. It's
Yeah,
never
I
been like,
guess that's what
oh,
happened.
it's like it's never been like, oh, unless you're like, a Gracie, obviously, like you're born into it, so you kind of like, follow in the footsteps. But
Yeah.
it's never like, oh, my XYZ did it first and blah blah blah. It's always, oh, I came across a gym and they were doing some crazy movements, and I was like, hey, I'll try it. And they're blue belts, purple belts, black belts, brown belts, and it was like they never thought they would get hooked. Me neither. I
Yeah.
always had a love for martial arts, but yeah, once I started learning jujitsu, it just consumed me. Like,
How did
it's
you get
terrible.
hooked?
Honestly, that same thing. Like it was, very mental stimulating because I love like thinking. So, I always hear like, oh, jujitsu was like chess, and I was like, okay, well, I like playing chess, and it's just once I got into it, and it was like really started to like pick up on things.
Mm.
I was like, yeah, I'm stuck. I'm hooked. I'm here.
I
I'm
hear
not going
that
nowhere.
saying so often that jujitsu is like chess. I don't feel like, okay, of all the martial arts, maybe this is one of the smarter people's sports. But like if we're gonna be honest, not that many smart people in jujitsu, so
It's not, but
I'm feeling it's more like checkers, if anything.
really.
Yeah, I know
So
the world of jujitsu, it's so vast, but when you're actually doing it, a lot of it is intuitive. Like if you're actually rolling hard, like your moves
mhm.
are intuitive. If you're actually flow rolling, there's a lot of like thinking that goes into it, I feel. Then yeah, it feels more like chess. But it
Was it
also
just like
requires the
chess?
participation of your sparring partner to actually want to collaborate and do beautiful jujitsu and do the actual flow roll. Yeah, in that case, it might be more chess-like and more checker-like. But
Because like
oftentimes,
even
no, this is very violent.
because even like when you're sitting by yourself, you're mentally rolling with yourself. Like you'll go replay matches and
Yeah,
think about,
that's
oh,
true.
what I could have done differently. Just like when you play, if well, I don't know if you ever played, but like if you play a game of chess by yourself,
Hmm.
it's that same thing. You have to think about each move that you're going to make at the same time, thinking about what your opponent's going to do. So
Mm.
just like in jujitsu, that's why to me it's called chess, because you have to think about your moves, and you have to think about, okay, if my opponent does this, I have XYZ. So you kind of have
Yeah,
to
that's
think a few
true.
moves ahead, but
I'm
chess
thinking
checkers.
maybe I'm just not in the phase of my jujitsu where I can do chess like jujitsu. For me, it's still feeling very intuitive. I come to class, I'm doing the drills, I'm trying to expand and do different things, and then I end up doing the same shit I've always been doing in sparring. You
But
feel
that
me? You do that?
Yeah, you do that. I mean, because you're, being a purple belt, you're in the middle. So you're
Mm,
like, you're at that point where everything is, you're starting to maybe understand it more.
mm,
But like, the further you go, that's when the refinement starts. So right now
yeah.
you're like, yeah, I'm having fun and, being able to kick XYZ's ass all the time or
Hmm.
yada, yada, yada. But yeah, once you get closer to purple, closer to brown, everything will start like, coming together. And
Coming together. I hope. I hope so. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it right now, right?
It takes time. It takes time. Like it took me a while, like to really sit down and really think about like what is jujitsu to me. You know,
Yeah.
I love the sport, but now thinking about it, and it's like, man, this is obviously my livelihood now. But yeah, it's definitely requires a lot of thinking.
Yeah.
More than you realize.
Yeah. Maybe I would call it more memory, tapping into your memory more like mid sparring, because you know that there are openings in things that your opponent's giving you. It's just that you
Mhm.
might not actually know how to counter what they're doing in the moment because there's adrenaline. You might not have enough oxygen going into your brain to remember all those techniques that you've been taught or you've seen on Instagram and YouTube.
Right.
So
It
I feel like
happens.
maybe this is a game of like memory recollection as well, more than chess.
I mean, it's all like one and the same. Because
Yeah.
because even in chess, like you have certain movements that you like, you know, your opening moves or your go-to moves. Just like in
Oh.
jiu-jitsu, you have your
Mhm.
like, you know, your opening moves. Like, okay, for example, if me and you were rolling right now, if we was
Mhm.
gonna roll, what would be your first move? Like, what's your first move?
Poker.
You said
Poker.
what?
Poker. I don't want to say it, but it's what I do.
She's like, booger. But but it's your go-to. It's your go-to strategy, though. It may work for you. Not all guard rulers are, you know, bad, but you know,
I
just
didn't say I
saying.
was good at it either. I just said that's what I do.
I'm trying to help. I'm trying.
I know you're trying to help me. You're trying to get going, but I'm just telling you, I didn't say I was good at this. I just said that's what I do.
I'm sorry. She said, "Whoa, slick! I do it. I mean, I'm good at it, but I pull guard. I don't even know what to say after that."
Okay. So let's say I pull guard.
Okay, so yeah, so you pull guard. So what's your next move?
I'm looking for a reaction, which if you're gonna stay standing up or if you're gonna stay on your knees, and which pass you're about to engage and begin, which sequence. Well, there's usually a very common sequence that people look when they're starting their guard pass, and
Mm-hmm.
I would just look for reaction first.
That's the same thing you do in chess.
Ah, okay, all right.
Your opening moves or something, you know, it's to see that person's reaction.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just kind of flow the game the way you
Yeah.
want it to go.
Sorry. Yeah. All right. I guess it is chess then. All right.
just
You
just a
got me.
little brown belt wisdom for you right there. It's all good.
I like it. I like, I think there was like a Gracie that says like his stupider students were like better at rolling because they wouldn't think, they would just do. And then
Yeah.
his students who are like very like methodical and calculated, they wouldn't do as well in sparring. I don't know which Gracie it was that said this, but like I heard that and I was like, I kind of feel that a little bit more when it comes to like hard spars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It's true because like I like it's at the point now when I roll, I try not to think of absolutely nothing.
Yeah,
I try so hard not to think about nothing because my
really.
mind's always moving a mile a minute, and it's like, okay, I just kind of click my mind on autopilot and just do jujitsu. But at the same time, it depends on who I'm rolling with.
Hmm.
I'll have, just get into that zone, and it's like, okay, we've been rolling too long. Let's go ahead and just finish this and
Yeah.
move on.
Oh, when you're rolling with someone like pretty new or like much lighter than you, of course, yeah, there's a lot of like chess like thinking that goes into it because you don't because you don't want this to be like a brutish out strengthening role.
No.
Yeah, then yeah, I would make it a more chess like role.
But to me, all roles are created equally.
Yeah.
I no matter what size you are, I go at your speed.
Oh yeah.
Like if
Okay.
you
I thought you
turn
were
up,
gonna
then we
say like,
turn
you
up.
know what? This big dude, 6'2", going at me 100%, same energy on like a 5'0" kid. Fuck them kids, man.
I know, right? Hey, I would heel hook a kid in a minute. I've done it. And I'm not ashamed to say it, but just same energy from a kid to a grown man. I will gladly give you that same energy, no matter what. So you said you compete. So when was your last competition?
Last competition was probably October. We have this tournament series in the Pacific Northwest called Revolution. They hold great tournaments. It's always like
Mm-hmm.
a one, 2,000 people or registrants kind of turnout. And I think that's back when I was like right before I was promoted to Purple Belt. I still haven't had my Purple Belt debut yet. I was promoted back in December, and I'm
Okay,
thinking I want to give myself like a few more months maybe before I jump back in. But yeah, my last tournament would have been in October. But I
mm-hmm.
spent all last year traveling and competing. It was a great time.
Yeah, for some, it is funny. Like you and a couple other ladies that came on the show all did the same thing. It's like, oh, I never thought about doing jujitsu, and it was just I just fell into it. And you guys are like heavy competitors.
Yeah.
That's so
Oh,
odd to me.
interesting.
That's so odd to me. Like every female who came on the show was like, yeah, I a friend of mine's invited me, or I just randomly found XYZ, and like they're refing at events, they're competing, they're doing everything they can with jujitsu.
Yeah.
It's funny. That's pretty awesome though.
Maybe
I'm kind
women
of
they also need like to just channel their aggression the same way like guys do. Maybe we
yeah,
have
we're
some like buried aggression underneath that we just need to get out, and we're able to do that through a competition.
I mean we're all animals, right?
Yeah, probably.
But nah, it's that's pretty cool. Like I compete as a matter of fact next week. And
Dang.
I
Which
know,
one?
right? Grappling Industries is coming back to Detroit.
Nice.
So I'm doing both gi and no gi.
Okay.
I haven't done no gi yet. So this will be my first time doing no gi, and I'm like, what the hell, right? It's just go out there and have fun and see what happens. But I didn't even realize it was next week until I was going over my scheduling for the show, and I was like, okay, I got to make time for Grappling Industries. And I looked at the calendar, and I was like, oh snap, this is Saturday. It's next Saturday, the 1st. Like March is gone, and it's the 1st. So just trying to cram some time and get ready for that.
Nice. How are you feeling?
I feel okay. I don't know. It's one of those things where I'm excited to do it, but it just feels like a open mat to me. It's like I just going out
Oh,
there and do jujitsu.
yeah. It's so much better to just it is a method that I use to like just calm my nerves. I just think of it as a very expensive open mat where I get to roll with people like that.
I know, right? It's a big, giant, expensive open mat.
Yeah. You ever go international to compete?
No, this is literally like my 3rd time competing.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So
Nice.
eventually, I would love to travel and compete, but
Yeah,
baby
it would be
steps,
really
baby
fun.
steps.
I had the opportunity to go to Brazil twice
Nice.
last year. Yeah. I did South American in October and then also Brazilian Nationals. I think it was in May. And that the
Wow.
experience is just so fun because I got to go to the GF team headquarters down in Rio de Janeiro.
Uh-huh.
I stayed with the head owner Julio. He had a daughter, so I stayed with her for 2 weeks for the time that I was there, and like I got to actually look into the jiu-jitsu lifestyle that they have in Rio de Janeiro. They have what's called a kashanga, and these kashanga bros they eat, sleep, they really truly live this jiu-jitsu lifestyle. They live at the gym. They have this room just right around the mats, and it's bunk beds, and the water is drinkable. It's not a terrible place. No hot water though. But
Oh,
yeah, but these guys are hardcore. All respect to these guys. It's so cool. And then most of them, they will teach at different GF teams around the city. Like they're
mhm.
the instructors, and then they all congregate at headquarters during noontime to spar each other and prepare for these big tournaments. And that was so cool to be a part of, because I've never seen so many women that are high level training with each other, just trying to kill each other to get ready for tournament. Like it was a very surreal moment for me, just seeing all of
I
them together
bet.
at once.
I bet. I bet. And yeah, like there's something about like, like Brazilians, they live in the gym. They
Yeah,
will like all they need is a cot and floor space, and they're the most happiest people in the world. Happiest people in the
yeah,
world.
it's great.
Yes, that sounds so fun. Like I'm
Yeah.
just like, just picturing it. And that's one of like my bucket lists is to go to Brazil
Hmm.
to either train or just to go, just in general. But it's like I'm like once I get my black belt, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna set a trip
Yeah.
for myself to go. So I've been shooting for that. So
Brace
that's pretty
yourself.
awesome.
They go hard there.
I know. I bet. Like I was talking to a couple guys I trained with, and I was like, oh no, our instructor sent the video of one of his instructor's videos, Master Joe Moera, and I was like, man, I really want to roll with him. And they looking at me like, are you crazy? You want to you want to die? I'm like, nah, I just want to experience it. Like I've never like we went over techniques before, but we never rolled. I know I'm not on like roll, but I just want to like get a little
Yeah,
flow roll going. I know it's gonna suck for me, but
yeah. And how
just
was it?
still. I know. I would say I want to. I haven't done it.
Oh, I see, I see. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I was saying I want to. They was like, "Are you crazy?" I'm like, "No, I just why not?"
It's funny. Like they were in training camp mode at the time that I was there. And, like
Mhm.
those girls, they were going nice on me, and I was still dying. It was not a great time. I mean, I was happy, of course, because I just got to have that experience. But yeah, they go hard there. It was awesome.
It sounds very awesome. So, with you being a heavy competitor, like, what's your, I guess, what's your game plan? Like, like, how do you get yourself prepared for tournaments or
I
very
wouldn't say I'm
expensive
like a
open mats?
high level competitor. I
Mhm.
competed often last year, but I would say I'm more like a hobbyist competitor that just dips my toes in these big tournaments just when they come around, just to mess around and have fun. But when
Mhm.
it comes to actually preparing for these big tournaments, I weight cutting is a big part of it that I have to do, and
Mhm.
I do it by playing Just Dance on Nintendo Switch. Some people are sleeping on these really great methods of weight cutting. It's a great sweat workout. Like you're not expending too much muscular energy. It's just all cardio, and you sweat your weight out, and you learn how to dance. It's really fun. And then
Yeah.
yeah, but the not eating carbs part, that's very painful for me. I can't live without rice and noodles, man.
It sucks. It
Yeah,
sucks. Like trying to like be good and not eat so much crap. But
yeah,
it's like I am a French fry addict.
uh-huh.
Like
Ooh.
I can cut out a lot of things, but French fries, no, I can't. It's impossible. It's so hard to like
Man, for
stop eating
me,
French fries. You said what?
yeah. For me, it's been poutine lately. I've been craving poutine.
I haven't had none of that in so long.
Yeah.
Damn it,
And
man!
we're in
Don't do
Canada
that.
too, so we got some dirty poutine here.
I'm gonna have to come visit.
Yeah.
Just
That would
get
be
some
awesome.
poutine.
But weight cutting, not eating carbs, and just making myself delusional into thinking I can win something big. Like part of it's a lot of it is just being delusional. Just being,
Yeah.
yeah, I can totally win worlds. And then you go into the training mode, and then you actually spar like you're about to, like you're going. to win worlds. And I did not win worlds, but I trained like I was going to win worlds.
Uh-huh.
So I think that was the part that improved my jiu-jitsu most, is not the winning, it's preparing for tournament.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Cause it's a new experience. It's like like we said, it's like it's open mat. So it's people you haven't never rode with. You don't know how hard they're gonna go. You don't know the conditioning that they're doing. So you kind of you want to go out there and give your best and do your and give it your all. So yeah, like leading up to leading up to the tournaments, I'll train so hard almost every day, get some type of workout in. Even if I don't do good, I still feel better at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So it's like a win-win for me.
My coaches all told me that like they saw so much improvement in my jiu-jitsu just from tournament prep, because I was going to the gym probably twice, maybe 3 times a day, and just doing drills on the side as well. All of that adds up. It adds up to the journey. It's gonna like speed run your progress.
For sure. Because jiu-jitsu is that thing. It's like you get out what you put in.
Yeah.
If you go in it, like if you go hard in the gym every single day, your game has no choice but to improve.
Yeah.
If you're going every day and it doesn't, then that's a you problem.
Yeah, that's gonna suck. That happens though. Like you just go to the gym and you feel like you're not making any progress, because why would you? I mean, if you're going every single day, how would you be able to see like a tangible metric of like your progression when you feel like you're getting killed every day? How would you know you're actually getting better until you actually look back on like your jiu-jitsu 6 months ago and then you realize, oh shit, I've actually gotten a lot better. That's why it's so hard to like come back every single day. It takes a insane person to not see any progression in each session and still put yourself back into class every single day, get your butt in. And then eventually in like 6 months, 1 year, you'll realize all of that actually did mean something.
Definitely. Yeah, you have to, like you said, you have to be insane to get up every single day, destroy your body, just be like, okay, I'm about to do this again tomorrow.
Yeah.
And the next day, and the next day, and the next day. But
you have a theory of why jiu-jitsu is so addictive to people?
You said do I have a theory?
Yeah. Why is it so addicting of all like these martial arts? I feel like of all the martial arts, people usually say it's like, oh, I'm a jiu-jitsu addict. I don't really hear this about like other sports.
I don't either. And I've had conversations with other guests, and it's like I don't hear like this type of addiction to the martial art that they do every day. Like people in the jiu-jitsu community, they wear jiu-jitsu with pride, like on a shield, ready to die, ready to die on their heel. And it becomes that like when I started jiu-jitsu, it was I bought a t-shirt, a jiu-jitsu t-shirt.
Yeah.
And now it's everything in my room and house is jiu-jitsu related, from hoodies, t-shirts, and stuff I have hanging on my wall. Like just everything is jiu-jitsu now.
Yeah.
It's like, what happened?
I feel that like it fits into all of my conversations, and I don't want it to anymore. I want to be a normal person, dude.
I know, right? It's like with me, and like I'm a huge comic book nerd, and I'm that type of person. Is like if I hear someone spitting wrong information, I have to keep myself from jumping in the conversation, right?
Nice.
So now it's like that with jiu-jitsu. Like if I'm out with friends and we're watching UFC, and someone's like talking behind me or something, they're saying like some of the most dumbest stuff, I just want to turn around like, shut up. Like
anytime like it just any like UFC news comes out, or like people keep up with MMA news because I feel like it's pretty mainstream. Anything tidbit, I just immediately, what's that?
Like for real, like, oh man, that would never work on me. Like, are you sure? You want to find out? But yeah, I don't know. It's just, I think it's just, it's this is on our primal nature. I think, because we get to fight. We get to go in a safe, I guess you want to say a safe environment. We get to practice murder and go home.
And make friends.
You said, yeah, and you make good friends in the process.
Oh yeah. I think so many of my best friends, like I met through jujitsu. You know how it's really hard as an adult to make friends? I think jujitsu saved us from that.
Oh yeah, like I've had friends growing up and friends I met through work, but like now I think a good 75% of my friends list on Facebook is jujitsu, like people I met doing jujitsu.
Yeah. I guess those are just proximity friendships because we spend so much time with our teammates. It's every single day, right? For like 1 or 2 hours.
Yeah.
With enough repeated exposure, of course, they're just gonna become naturally your friend.
Yeah. And these are the people I talk to every single day.
Yeah.
Every single day. We're talking on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, text message, and we see each other Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday for 2-3 hours a day those days.
Yeah, but you ever feel like you need friends that are like not from the martial arts world?
Sometimes, like, me and my wife talk about this a lot. Like, only friends that I have are like jujitsu friends.
Mm.
I'm like, we don't have normal friends.
Yeah.
And it's so weird because if we was to get said normal friends, I would feel so awkward because I wouldn't know what to talk about. Like jujitsu.
No, I feel like I feel that. I feel that. I want to have normal friends, but I don't think I could even get along with them because they don't do jujitsu.
I know, like ew. Like
this is a dilemma now. How am I gonna make friends, dude?
Yeah, like how? Like if you're not into what I'm into at this point, I don't know. I don't think we can talk because I don't watch TV as often. It's YouTube and jujitsu.
Yeah.
Or I'm doing something jujitsu related or working on art projects and stuff. But yeah, I don't know really much about anything but nerd stuff and jujitsu.
Yeah, nice. But like there are communities for like nerd stuff. There's like Discord channels you can join, or like there's Reddit communities. Those are fun to drop into. But then the jiu-jitsu community, especially, they give you entertainment. They give you a show. Especially like when there's a Brazilian versus a US grappler fight upcoming. Oh, it's so toxic. I love it.
It's so disgusting.
Is it disgusting?
I just sit back and watch.
Or do we actually love this disgust?
Oh, we love it.
We love it, dude.
We love it.
I have never seen a single episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. I've never had to. I've always had jujitsu drama.
And that's a drama I'd rather watch. Because it makes sense to me.
Well, what do you mean it makes sense?
Because I indulge in the lifestyle. Like whatever jujitsu related, it all makes sense to me. Like my wife watches reality TV shows, and I'll watch them sometimes with her, and I'm like, how could you watch this stuff like all day?
It's fun.
I guess not to me. It's ugh. It's crazy.
Well, okay. So like, what shows does she watch?
She watches like the Real Housewives of whatever, or Basketball Wives or whatever. Those crazy. Yeah, I watched like the what are those called? Like the recap, like at the end of the season, they'll do like a recap of all what happened. I can't remember what's the name of what's this called, but I watched that because it's like everything that happened in the span of a couple months crammed down to 2 hours. Perfect. The reunion show. That's what it's called. Like when they do the reunion episodes.
Oh, okay.
But nah.
But I do appreciate like these reality or like fabricated drama sometimes because people make some like really good memes out of them, or like they have like really funny compilations or funny one-liners that happen in reality shows. Same with jujitsu, I feel. Like I see the comedic value in both the jujitsu community drama and also in reality TV drama. Like I can enjoy both. It's the comedy. It's always the comedy I'm into.
It's the comedy and it's the drama. It's always something. So since we're talking about comedy, let's we were talking about earlier about your Instagram videos you post, and I just be like, where did she find, like, where did she come up with this stuff that you post? Because I really enjoy it. I really enjoy it, and it's just I'll see like yours. There's a couple other people that I follow, and they just make some of the best like jujitsu content, and I was just like, how?
Well, a
Like,
lot of it, like the really like the trending audios that we use in jujitsu, they're actually like usually made a few weeks delayed by TikTok audios that were like probably trending 2 weeks earlier. A lot of our stuff is like pretty delayed in the social media world. So like if
mhm,
I'm using a trending audio, it was probably trending on TikTok a month or like 2 weeks ago. And a lot of it is inspired. So like you can put your own spin on this trend basically
mhm.
using this audio. Like you get your own idea and you write your own caption as it applies to jujitsu, and then you post it and people relate to it if they're from the jujitsu community. Like a couple times I've had like actual original ideas, but most of it like it's just borrowed inspiration from other memes that I've seen or just pure observation from my own gym. A lot of what I take from is just inspiration and things that I've seen in my own gym. Like a lot of it's observational comedy.
Gotcha. But so what made you want to get into doing that?
Well, actually, I came from a stand-up comedy background, and then
Really?
COVID. Yeah. I was doing that for a couple years around in Vancouver City. And then
Okay.
COVID hit, so there weren't any open mics or shows going around. And then I started doing TikTok as a form to like do a little bit of comedy, make people laugh. And then eventually I was like, actually, I want to do jujitsu, apply this over to jujitsu. So I started doing that like last year, and people enjoyed it. So I just kept doing it. And I felt like it's probably like a way that could potentially make me a little bit of pocket cash in the future.
Hmm.
So I had the intention with if I am going to be a serious athlete in the future, I do need to build a social media. Being a good
Yeah.
athlete also involves being good at social media these days. Unfortunately, you have to market yourself, right? I had
Right.
that intention before I started. So one of the reasons why I started was because in case I became a serious athlete, and number two, to make people laugh. Number three, self-expression.
Hmm.
There was also a part of me that also wanted to show that, hey, women can joke around a lot of the things that we find funny, you guys find funny.
Hmm.
Like it kind of like it saddens me sometimes that there's a disconnect between men and women. But actually, we laugh at the same things that you guys laugh at.
Yeah. For sure. For sure. I mean, especially when it comes to like jujitsu. Like I don't look at sex or gender or whatever you want to
Hmm.
call it nowadays. I don't see that. I just see someone who like to put on murder pajamas
Yeah,
and simulate murder. That's all I see.
yeah. That's what I really like about jujitsu. It's that like on the mats, you're an equal. You're not really seen for your race, your gender. Well, I mean your gender it does matter when it comes to like weight class, of
Yeah.
course, your body composition. Of course those things matter. But like you as a person, like they're able to see you as just a practitioner of jujitsu first, and then
Mhm.
you're whatever, you're man, woman, child second.
Yeah. Very, very much so. Because chokes are equal for everyone, right?
Hmm.
And no matter who you are, age,
Yeah.
sex, or creed, you will get choked. So, so we have a Talk Your Jits podcast question. And I think I broke something. 1 second. So the question is, who on your top 3 list of people you would like to roll with?
That is a really good question. All right. Number 1, Abraham Lincoln. He doesn't do jiu-jitsu, but I just want to roll with him. Number 2, Marco Ciccarelli. Have you heard this name?
Maybe. I'm so horrible with names.
Yeah, but she was like an 80cc competitor, very high level, very good with inversions. She's very conceptual in her jiu-jitsu. She actually looks at jiu-jitsu like it's a game of chess, and it's very cool the way she's able to translate like her concept into the actual competition setting. So I would love to just roll with her to see, so she can gauge my reactions, like, and see how she reacts to me. Like, I don't take her as someone who would probably like try to kill me on the first roll. She seems like someone who would try to like figure me out. Yeah. And I think that's very cool. Number 3. Dude, this is a hard question, man. Why didn't you give this question to me earlier?
Nope.
Who answered you? Number 3. What have other people been saying, first of all?
Surprisingly, a few presidents was mentioned.
For what reason, though?
Just because. It was just because. I was like,
okay.
What? But obviously, Gordon Ryan was mentioned a lot.
Okay, sure.
Renzo Gracie was mentioned a lot. I personally said Andre Galval, Khabib Nurmagomedov, Andre Galval is another person that's on my list. So, but yeah, mainly like the top people like Gordon Ryan and whatnot. This is what a lot of people have been saying.
You know what? I've had like one random one actual athlete. Number 3, I think I'm gonna put in a celebrity. I'm gonna say Demi Lovato, because people like they doubt her jiu-jitsu skills, and I feel like you're free to be a hobbyist. You're free to see jiu-jitsu however you want it to be and take it as seriously as you want it to be. But I just want to see what she knows about jiu-jitsu. Like, I'm just curious. I wouldn't want to do anything bad. I'm just curious how much.
Because I'm like, we'd never see you roll. Like, there's no videos. I've never seen any videos of her actually practicing. But I'm not discrediting what she's doing. Maybe she keeps it personal. But yeah, why not, right?
I think these celebrities, like they're able to take a lot of privates, right? So I'm sure like they have a pretty good sense of jiu-jitsu, in that they've had so many privates that they're able to probably flow roll pretty well. But my theory is they wouldn't be able to compete well because they don't get to spar as often as we do, because they're celebrities. Unless there's like the secret celebrity jiu-jitsu club that we don't know about. That would be really cool.
Yeah, right. That would be dope. Well, Tom Hardy competes.
Oh yeah. I saw like he entered into like one of his local tournaments and he won gold.
Yeah.
Good for him. I feel like he's probably him and Ashton Kutcher. Ashton Kutcher definitely. He has wrestling background.
Yeah, I think I've seen one of his videos on YouTube. Is actually, I think it was his brown belt test was on YouTube.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay, he actually knows some stuff.
Like, what was on the brown belt test? Do they test by technique or do they spar?
I think it was a little bit of both.
Cool.
If I can find it out, I'll definitely send it to you. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna Google it later. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. But yeah, you see a lot of celebrities that does jiu-jitsu, but yeah, they have to be hobbyists, because from trying to train, and also if they're in between movies or making music and stuff, they necessarily
they're
can't
busy
like just sit
people.
down and train like that, right?
Yeah.
They're very busy people, for sure.
Hey, did anyone say Keanu Reeves?
No one said Keanu Reeves.
Why would nobody want to roll with Keanu Reeves? He looks so cool. You know what? No. I'm gonna change Demi Lovato to Keanu Reeves. He's such a sweetheart. He is the sweetheart of the internet memes.
And he actually trains.
Yeah.
He's a blue belt now in jiu-jitsu. On top of everything else he does.
I feel like he's been training for a few years now. I mean, the John Wick series has been going on for quite a few years.
Damn, no one said Keanu Reeves.
All right, number 3, Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves. He is going on the list. So chill, so humble, and he just probably destroy you with a smile on his face.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you got any other questions for me, if you got anything coming up that you would like to shout out, definitely shout out your Instagram page and all your other social media handles. And if you got anything else coming up, the floor is all yours.
Let's see. I might be competing soon, but don't watch because that makes me very nervous and anxious. I'm gonna be collaborating more often with my sponsor, Ghost Grappling, so watch out for that. And I'm gonna continue shit posting.
Yeah.
Deuces.
Definitely.
That's all I got, dude. There's not that much to me, to be honest.
It's more than you let on. Hey, but that's a good lifestyle. It's simple, it's yours, and it makes you happy, right?
Dude, yeah, I want something simple.
Yeah, for sure. But be on the lookout, man. She's definitely a very funny individual. So I would highly recommend you guys go and follow her on all her social media platforms because you would not regret it, for sure.
Nice, thank you.
All right, and that's the end of today's episode. I would like to thank Elim one more time for coming on the show and blessing us with her jiu-jitsu knowledge. Please go and follow our Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube pages to stay up to date on all future episodes. This has been Talk Your Jits Podcast. Keep rolling, keep grinding, and remember, long live jiu-jitsu. Have a great day.
Bye.
And